What a way to start out the preseason for the Golden State Warriors. What a way to start out that preseason. I hope you saw that game. At least I hope you saw the highlights. But hey, I'm going to talk about it right now. The Warriors beat the Clippers 91-90. And yeah, on this amazing Lindy Waters buzzer beater. Google it, do the YouTube thing, look it up. Lindy Waters the third, I believe, buzzer beater. Awesome. Much in the clutch, ice in his veins, through the tin for the win. How about that? That just made that up. Oh, I love it. So here are some takeaways, okay? Here are some things that I liked about the Warriors' debut, their preseason debut. Here, and then I'll talk about maybe some things that I didn't like. I'll probably ramble. Maybe I'll rant, but hey, it was a win, and I will definitely take it. It was a good game. That was some good basketball to open up the preseason for the Warriors. What did I like about the Warriors win? Okay, number one was defense above all, but in terms of players, that's what we're going to talk about real quick, because Lindy Waters had himself a day. Lindy Waters, 15 points on 5 of 7 from the three. Ridiculous, right? What do you have? Three boards as well. Really good defense. Not stellar defense, not even great defense, but really good defense. And I will absolutely take that right now. Absolutely take that. So Lindy Waters can shoot. I mean, this dude can stroke it. He has solid form, a quick, nice release, and he can get off his shot and he can shoot. The dude can stroke it, and he was tonight. The things that I really want to see from Lindy Waters, this is the first game, right? I believe he only played like 15 minutes. The thing that I really want to see with Lindy Waters is I want to see him get on the floor with Pajensky, number one, because Pajensky's good at finding people. I think that Pajensky, assisted on a couple of his threes. But I want to see how Waters does on the floor with Steph. I want to see Lindy Waters and I want to see if Lindy Waters can defend the wing position. So if he can defend some threes, I think that the Warriors could potentially have really found something with Lindy Waters. And we're going to move on, but these two are linked and connected, and I'll tell you who the second Warrior who stood out for me was. Moses Moody. Mr. Moses Moody. 12 points, 4 boards, 2 steals. I believe he was like his plus minus was good. He had a good plus minus. Why are Lindy Waters and Moses Moody, why do I sort of link them? Okay, both of them are good 3-point shooters. And they can stretch the defense. They can create space, right? They can space out the defense with their shooting ability, which is definitely respectable. I think that we can say now in their careers that Lindy Waters and Moses Moody both are adequate 3-point shooters. They are good enough to be dangerous from downtown at like 36, 37% respectively, with upside, right? But what we need to see are how both of those players can spread the floor and can play with Steph. With Lindy Waters, he really, the thing that I liked about him is that he stayed within himself. Lindy Waters got 15 points the way that I think Lindy Waters is going to get 15 points in a regular season game, right? Pump fake 3. Gets the ball, doesn't have it, then doesn't have the shot, gives it up, relocates for a 3, right? Gets like a long rebound, toss it out to him, another 3. So his ability to gravitate based on Steph's orbit will be key to Lindy Waters' growth this season and to him getting minutes. But the defense, it has to start on defense. And luckily, I can say I at least didn't see Lindy Waters getting exposed on defense, and I didn't see him get blown by on defense, which unfortunately I did see Kuminga get blown by on defense. Storm and Norman Powell just blew by Kuminga, I believe in the first quarter when Kuminga was on defense. Something I didn't love to see, honestly. Didn't love to see it on Kuminga's part, on Kuminga's end. So who else did I really like? Okay, well, how about this, actually? If Lindy Waters and Moses Moody both continue to display not only the defensive aptitude, but that range, that consistent 37 to hopefully 40+% three-point shooting, is that going to force Mike Dunleavy Jr. to trade or consolidate players like Gary Payton II and Kuminga, who Gary Payton II is an amazing defender, but does Melton duplicate him? Just remember that I said that, because in an ideal world, Lindy Waters just is a find, and Moses Moody sort of actualizes to a potential starter at the shooting guard or / small forward position, which allows you to then consolidate talent such as Gary Payton II and Kuminga for a real good package for a consistent second option. But that's forecasting into the future. This is the first preseason game. I love to overreact, though. I'm always thinking ahead. We're always thinking ahead. Specifically at C-Train Station, we think about what talent we can consolidate, what extra talent or duplicate talent we can consolidate for real needs, for true, tried and true real needs that the Warriors have consistently needed. Size, three-point shooting, always, right? Defense, always. Anthony Melton is a third player. I just love his game. He's the type of player that you live with the fact that I think that he was like 2 of 5 outside shooting. So you will live with 35% or even possibly sub 35% from beyond the arc from Anthony Melton because of all the other things that he brings to the squad. His movement on offense was amazing. He was good on defense, not great. I think he had a couple fouls. He needs to, it's always about defending without fouling, right? Defending without fouling. The Clippers had 29 free throws to the Warriors 18. That can't happen. Warriors must defend without fouling. You can't give up 30 points or 30 free throws a game. That's just too much. But I love Melton. I think he signed a multi-year deal. I think he has a future on the squad. He can create. He can't necessarily create for others. He can, but he's solid on the ball on offense. So what I mean with that is Beekman on the Warriors. He wasn't solid on the ball. You could take the ball from him, essentially. So De'Anthony Melton is solid on the ball. I feel like he knows how to protect the ball on offense. He's not going to be a turnover machine when the margins are going to be slim, honestly, because of talent, because of sort of talent-wise, right? The margins are going to be slimmer this season. So you have to mitigate those turnovers, especially the really bad turnovers. It just can't happen this season for the Warriors. Okay, things I didn't like, a couple things. I really want you to do this. Go and Google or YouTube search the Warriors playoffs in 2022, that championship season, versus the Mavs and also versus the Grizzlies, but I know versus the Mavs. And in total garbage time, look at Jonathan Kuminga's offensive display. Jonathan Kuminga goes crazy. He goes wild in garbage time in the 2022 playoffs. Goes wild. I think he literally scores 19 in garbage time. I believe it's the Mavs game, but look at that one. You guys got to check that out because he has a couple a double step back, mid-range jumpers, nothing but net. Okay, why am I saying that? I do not see a vast improvement in Jonathan Kuminga's game you got to watch those highlights. Watch those highlights of Kuminga from over 2 years ago, okay? And then watch his highlights from this season, and don't tell me how old Kuminga is, so just take each of those in like a vacuum, you will think that tonight's game was Kuminga's rookie season. That's not good. So where Kuminga, it's like, no, has he become necessarily like the superstar? No. That's not what I'm asking, though, or not what I'm asking, what the Warriors truly require. What the Warriors truly require is growth. And has Kuminga done that to getting he's getting hundreds of millions of dollars. Some team is going to be paying Kuminga. So, okay, with that, because I've been a little negative with Kuminga, here's the good thing. I definitely don't think he has the ability. He doesn't. Players were blowing by him. Wings were. So I believe that Kuminga says he's a 3. Draymond Green says he's a 3. Coach Kerr says he's a 4. I absolutely believe that Jonathan Kuminga in this offense is a 4. However, he has to play. I believe he has to play with a player who can rebound, who's bigger than him at 5, and also with Pachinski. So that because he's so deficient at rebounding. I know that Kuminga got 7 rebounds, I believe, this game. He's just not. It doesn't look like he has it in terms of that. I was talking on Twitter or X, whatever, before the game. I was like, man, I really want Kuminga need Dalton Knecht yesterday. It got 16 to 18 points in a preseason game. Kuminga needs to show, and he needs to show out. The time for him to show out was in the play-in game in Sacramento. He played horribly in the play-in game. Kuminga played horribly. He didn't play that well this game either. I am not impressed with Jonathan Kuminga's growth. He hasn't shown it to me, and he hasn't shown it to me enough on defense where he got blown by Storm and Norman Powell. Darn it. That stinks. What were some good Kuminga plays? I loved his rebound coast to coast. If I were Coach Kerr, I would say, look, Kuminga, whenever you get the ball, whenever you get a defensive rebound, I'll let you, no problem, green light, you can go coast to coast or try to go coast to coast, because that will at least give Kuminga a little initiative to go after it a little bit. So what also are a couple things that were some negatives? The lack of size for the Warriors, it just stinks. So look, Zubac had 14 points in 14 minutes. Here's the deal. The deal is that the reason that the lack of size is so just bad with the Warriors, excuse me, is that it doesn't necessarily take size and talent to beat the Warriors inside. It only takes a big player who knows how to seal on offense. So, you just have to be above 6'11" and know how to seal on offense, and you can beat the Warriors' defense. That is really bad. That's not good. That is tactically in error. And Trace Jackson Davis, I think that he's going to be really good. I think he's going to be a good player, right? I don't know how good he's going to be. And I definitely don't think that the Warriors should have trusted him as their sole big guy pretty much. Kayvon Looney's there, and he looked good. But people over 6'10", the Warriors still don't really have any. They don't have any true big men. And it shows when you get exposed by a guy like Zubac. Look at his baskets. Look at how he got his baskets, DubNation, Warriors fans. Zubac got his baskets on the Warriors just through seals, okay? He's just sealing the Warriors off underneath the basket. He is now bigger. Boom, he can lay the ball in. So, that is all on Mike Dunleavy Jr., though. The size and the three-point shooting and the second score, that is all on Mike Dunleavy Jr. And let me get to Pachinski real quick. I think my prediction for this season is that it is going to be tough, is that Warriors fans are not going to be honest brokers when it comes to evaluating Brandon Pachinski. Here's the only thing that Brandon Pachinski needs to do this season is be Brandon Pachinski. Just has to be himself. The issue is when the greater media, Warriors fans, and I get it, We want a second scorer, okay? Guess what? Brandon Pajensky is. Is he a second scorer? I don't know. I don't think so, but he's Brandon Pajensky, okay? Was Manu Ginobili the second scorer? Because that's the type of player I envision, I hope Brandon Pajensky can become, is that type, a Manu type connector, much in the clutch, can be on the court, always a positive, can make that three-pointer, can play defense, can grind, okay? That is exactly who I think Brandon Pajensky can become, that type of player. But look, Mike Dunleavy Jr. didn't get a second scorer, and so there's undue pressure on even Melton, Moody, Waters, Kuminga, Pajensky, all to become second scorers when they just need to be their best selves, which may not be a second scorer. So, like, it could be possible that Zach LaVine, just by having access to the ability to create your own shot and be it could have unlocked Pajensky even more to be more himself, or Kuminga. But not getting that second score. And I really like who has a potential, like on any given night, of course, right? Buddy Hield, Pajensky, Kuminga. We love it. We love it. We love it. But it's not consistent enough. And what that does is it puts undue pressure on players like Pajensky and Kuminga not to play within themselves. And also, it definitely puts more pressure on Stephen Curry because he's got nobody else. Got no other second option to depend on. He will be the target of those defenses without a lot of dissipation. There's not a lot of offensive talent on the Warriors to dissipate that, right? We want Kuminga to do that, but it's like Kuminga in the first quarter got the ball today. He got the friggin' ball in the first quarter, gets the ball wide open for three. He said this offseason that that's what he wanted to work on, his catch and shoot, had it wide open, and just stutters. James Harden was defending him. It's clear. Look in the first quarter. Maybe they'll do a breaking it down with C-Train thing about it. But, So, like, whether in 4 years Jonathan Kuminga will be able to take that shot and what, he'll be like a 25-year-old? Yeah. Maybe like in 4 years, he's ready finally to just exchange and explode for 40-plus points. But right now, hey, it doesn't look like it. Okay? We just have to, I just have to use my eyes, and also I have to read those stats. It's not good enough. It's not good enough to be a second scorer. So, that's okay. I envision Kuminga, honest, not like if I were coaching the Warriors, I would put him in at power forward where he can operate in the low block. And then I would try to hide him on defense and hide him on rebounding, which is just like devastating, right? Is that the type of player who you want to give that much money to? If you're Golden State, that's devastating. Devastating. But hey, that's okay. That's okay. This was a great win. The Warriors got off to an awesome start. This is a great start to the season. Lots of momentum. How can they carry it over? Can players like Moody and Waters string 2 consistent good games together? Because if that starts to happen, then we're really starting to talk Warriors fans. Then, all the Warriors are Moody or Waters emergence away from from becoming something, okay? So, one more thing on a positive note, Moses Moody is able to create his own shot. It just looks different. He's like a one-move jab step, and it's either there or not. So it might not be like as consistent as other players, but he has like almost dropped multiple players now. And over his last 10 to 20 games as a Warrior, over the last season and a half, this season, like the last season and in this game, he has created separation, and he's like dropped multiple people with his moves, with his quickness, with his first step. So I do think that he can get off his shot, just not at the highest of levels, and it's not something that the Warriors should ask him to do, right? Yeah, Great win. I cannot wait to see what this season has in store for the Warriors. Hey, is there a certain player that you're looking forward to watching on the Warriors? Certain Warrior that you're... Comment below. And of course, like, subscribe. See you next time at C Train Station.